Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the OSC Elite Rising Star number 19, day 3. I'm of course just VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, wonderful. Something a little bit different here. Welcome to the OSC Elite Rising Star. This is a tournament that does feature up-and-coming players. Again, this tournament is restricted as some of the top players that did achieve too many high accolades and achievements in offline tournaments and even in the OSC Championships are ineligible. They're ineligible for this event. So players like MaxPax, Hero, Clem, Cure, for example, are not going to be competing in a tournament like this. Instead, it is, again, for the up-and-coming talent instead. Let's go. Let us go. As we have a plethora of matches here tonight, we did of course cover this event last week, and we will be covering it ideally on a weekly basis, as long as our schedule does permit, of course. It's been a busy schedule. You know, we were just live last night with GSL. It was what, like a 6-7 hour cast? It was crazy. It was a lot of StarCraft. I should also give a heads up as well that because last night's cast was so intense, my voice was very strained towards the end, so we're gonna be skipping out on the What Is TV Monday tonight. Usually we do cover What Is TV Mondays on Monday evening. That won't be the case, not this week. We're gonna be taking the evening off just so we can rest our voice and freshen up, man. Freshen up. For now we are going to be jumping into our first series of the broadcast. We have a PvP here between ReBellioN and ArT. Let's go. Jumping into our first matchup, jumping into the Old Republic. ReBellioN, of course, being a Korean player that has been around the middle of the pack or lower end of things for quite some time. When I think of ReBellioN, I think of Lunacy, I think of Stephen Curry, I think of Honmono, I think of 3 Point, I think of Percival, Genio, all these players. I mean, Percival recently has broken up into the upper echelons of the Korean scene, that is true, and we're looking to see if we can see something similar here out of our next Korean player, our Korean Protoss. So spawning in the top right hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player, we have the Pink Protoss, representing among SC2 people, it is ReBellioN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss himself, the Polish Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes, it is ArT. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open, and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our initial best of 3. For tonight's broadcast, or for this morning's broadcast, we do have 7 best of 3s available to use. So that's going to be a massive amount of matches. It's also one of the reasons why we decided to cool down when it comes to the What Is TV broadcast this evening. I'm just going to calm things down, embrace the OSC broadcast, and then get as much rest as we can. But for those of you that maybe missed out on the GSL broadcast, I do recommend it. It was an amazing event of play. All 3 matches, of course, the semis and the grand finals. Amazing, it was beautiful. I do recommend it. Of course, the VODs will be available on YouTube and Twitch and other platforms in the upcoming days. As a reminder, we do have to wait 48 hours. We have to wait 48 hours, and then we can reveal that Soup VOD on other platforms. Until then, exclusive to Soup. For now, we are moving out. We have our initial 2-gate opener here on the high ground for ArT. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of ReBellioN. So far, mirrored builds. Builds are mirrored. From here, we're looking for any kind of proxies, but no worker is sent out off towards neither worker veers off towards the left or right hand side. So there is no proxy being set up here. It's looking like a standard opener. We can go for earlier tech, like say an earlier Stargate or an earlier Twilight Council or an earlier Robo here. Otherwise, we could try to just jump into our expansions. As much rest as we can, namely none at all, but we haven't had time for anything but StarCraft. True. SLA Chrononaut, 120 stream streak. Oh my god. I've seen some pretty big streaks, not gonna lie. So Lensvard, I think has like 180 or something. It's crazy. Crazy watch streaks. We appreciate it, by the way. I know that unlike with other streams, like having a watch streak for the CranKy Ducklings broadcast is difficult just because we have our morning cast and we have our evening cast. Like we ideally, or we do traditionally focus on 2 different time zones. Like casting twice a day, so that easy to keep up, man. Impressive. Very impressive. The dedication, all the StarCraft. There we go. For now, we have our initial tech of choice. Both players are expanding, that is true, but both players work towards the Twilight Councils. Here you can see it's the Twilight Council after the expand. Meanwhile, we had an earlier council out of ArT. Outside of that, though, no major deviations. Working towards Blink. And then into the mid game, and we might just slow things down. I know that in PvP we are all used to seeing just hyper aggressive games and really short matches between the top Protoss players, between like Showtime, Max, Classic, Hero, Zound. That is true, but when it comes to the other Protoss players, like it's typically a lot more slower. Referring to ReBellioN, ArT, Geralt, Christiana, Shameless even as well. I would say that all-ins are a little bit more rare from them, and we get to experience the mid game. But did I see you too soon? So if ReBellioN set a great proxy, we do have some adepts orbiting across the map. Remember, 2 adepts, they can one-shot probes, so if they can get into a mineral line, they can wreak havoc. That is what is so difficult, or what can be so difficult about PvP, is that very quickly you can start losing workers and start falling behind, and everything can just get out of hand. Hallucination does get eyes on the adepts. So far, ArT does keep up. We do threaten the shade into the mineral line, but there are units in position. Oh, he commits. Okay. He does commit into the natural. 1 adept goes down instantly. 1 probe does fall, and so far not worth it. Yeah, not worth it. 1 probe for 2 adepts. A better defense here for ArT. So far, a better defense. Behind this, ReBellioN going in for a ninja expansion. Wait, what? ReBellioN expanding here on the south side, south from his own third. This is a very rarely taken base as a third location. Checking ArT's vision, he has not seen this, and it's very high risk, high reward. The base is very isolated, very isolated from your other expansions, so it can be abused that much easier. But at the same time, because it is off by the wayside here, there's a chance that maybe ArT doesn't scout and misreads this. He's coming with hallucination. He confirms there's still no third expansion. He's taking his own, and this will prompt ArT to be more defensive because he's going to be scared, of course, of a 2-base all-in. He's going to be scared of 2-base play. Meanwhile, ReBellioN has a 3rd base that's on par. Oh, nice. Never mind. Does see, does scout, does confirm. ArT is now fully aware of the location of the 3rd, and now ArT can start to apply some pressure here. Hallucination also scouts the 3rd base of ArT. Both players are aware. Immortals popped out. Are we going for the Prism follow? We are. So with the War Prism, we can start to reinforce. So this is the first sign of a major push here from ArT. I'm waiting for that War Prism. As ReBellion's going to be the first to push. I do like this. ReBellioN knows he's been scouted. He knows his 3rd base is more exposed. So applying pressure here to keep ArT busy does make sense. But don't push off the ramp. Ooh, what's over here down? Losing 1, blinking forward, catching out the sentries as well. Yeah, some rough losses here. ReBellioN losing out the sentries, losing out the stalkers. Another very nice force field, but ReBellioN does pull away. As he pulls away, Adept satiated. A nice counter attack here by ReBellioN. He may have lost some gateway units here, but he does get into the mineral line, does nice to mining, and that's going to be 5 probes going down. Very nice. 5, 6 probe kills. Shades into the main base, is denied. Oh no, the Immortal! Yeah, the Immortal almost caught out. It does drop in time. Nice juggling, preserves the Immortal a little bit longer. The boys are being pulled, and ArT commits. He commits across the map. ArT has a massive army to work with. The probes are buffering. And ArT can break through. Yeah, looks like he will. Yeah, ArT will break through in the end. So on the one hand, yes, ArT may have lost a bunch of workers, but it does not matter because ArT breaks the expansion, takes down 11 probes, takes down the pylon, and can keep pushing. And ArT can just keep on pushing. Blink is available. Immortal's real. Blinks on the Immortal. Does dive in. Takes down the Immortal. And with that, ArT snowballs out of control. GG, well played, and ArT will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very similar game from our 2 players here when it comes to their openers, when it comes to their builds. But as we mentioned, ReBellioN did choose to go for a much more exposed base. It's a little more open, it's further forward, it's easier to engage, and yeah, it was a bold move there by ReBellioN. ArT scouted quite quickly, and he was able to push out, able to break out, able to break that expansion. Again, there were no safety batteries, a longer rush distance by ground to reinforce a location. Yeah, it was just a little bit more difficult to defend. GG, well played. It also didn't help that, if you recall, ReBellioN did bleed out some units early on, his sentries and his stalkers, when he was being active on the map. So, but out units, and everything just couldn't snowball out of control. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be getting into game number 2, and we'll see if ReBellioN can bring it back as we are loading into Winter Madness. This time a much larger map. Because it's so large in PvP, we expect more proxies. They're a little bit more effective here on this map, as it is much more difficult to scout, but we'll see. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the pink Protoss player, the pink Protoss himself. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. Leading the series 1-0. Let's go. We are going to be leading the series here, going to be opening up, and we'll see if we do decide to hide any tech out on the map. As we mentioned before, Winter Madness is a larger map of the map pool. That is true, longer rush distance by ground, so we often get longer and larger games in other matchups, but specifically for PvP, a matchup that's known for proxies, one base all-ins, and cheese. I mean, there's a lot of places to proxy pylon. Set up a Robo, a Stargate, a fake pylon, a real pylon, a Twilight Council. We'll see. So now we have our 2-gate opener. Only now moving out with the probes. ReBellioN, he does veer off towards the right hand side, so again, looking to hide his pylon. Yeah, we'll let his pylon. This location would not be bad for a proxy Stargate, or it could just be a fake out. And based on this position, oh, okay, no, you can't fit a building here. Okay. Esther ReBellioN. Probe moves in, and he will see on, he will confirm that a pylon is missing, right? We're counting pylons here. There's one in the main base. It should be a second pylon. He does a recheck behind the main, further in. And ArT is now aware that something is wrong. Cybercore is done. And we abandon the pylon. Okay, never mind. It is a fake out. It is going to be a fake out here. ReBellioN does escape. ArT, he will scout it. No shot. ArT, he goes immediately to... Oh no! Jeez, that was so close. That was so close. And he does end up scouting the pylon. He does find it. He does confirm that it is a fake proxy pylon. There's no Robo, no Stargate, no nothing here in position. And I can just chill. I can just expand. ReBellioN takes a natural. ArT not too far behind. He's pushing. He's moving out. Yep, there's the expansion. Trying to be active. And he does come across the adepts. Does come across. And we're going for a Robo opener. Okay, that's a little bit different here. Now, typically the early Robo means we're going to be more defensive. It means that ReBellioN will have access to early Immortal production. We'll keep an Immortal lead, of course. And this can lead into Glaive Adepts. Into hyper-aggressive mid-game instead, going for a borderline all-in. So we'll keep an eye on ReBellioN. And the reason why you would go into Glaives from here is because Blink Stalkers and your Gateway Army is going to be very delayed, right? It's going to be delayed Blink, delayed Charge, delayed everything. So a lot of players just go straight into Glaives, kind of skip all of that because they're going to be late anyway, and then they just commit with Glaive Adepts and Mass Immortal. But we'll see. Before the Mass Immortals play, we can go for an earlier War Prism to apply some pressure to harass. At the same time, ArT goes for his own Twilight Council, early Blink, throws in extra Gateways, and is moving out to break down the pylon. Let's move out. Pylon will fall. It is going to be the earlier War Prism. So with that, ReBellioN can try to warp into depths and drop into the main. Go for the drops. In PvP, it can be difficult to get a depth harass just because players are so good at just keeping up with their wall-offs, having units in position, throwing down the pylon, and walling off the ramp. That's why the War Prism opener can be more effective, as you can just bypass that. Oh, actually, we're going for the sentry drop. Okay. Oh. RT, I mean, he's still here outside on the map, so ReBellioN has to thread the needle. ArT does find him. Yeah, it does find him. Will intercept. Sentries, they are forced to spend a couple of force fields here as they attempt to chase down the Stalker. He's getting caught down. Yeah, he's coming from behind. Alright, he's coming from behind. The Stalker will go down. And ReBellioN has to back off. There's a recall. There's a recall back home. Behind this, as we mentioned previously here, we do have a Glaives on the way. Glaive Adepts. Again, this is very standard after a Robo opener. That's why we brought it up earlier. Gateway Explosion, 2 base all in at ReBellioN, but before that happens, ArT's already here. And ArT has arrived. Gaining high ground vision, diving into the main, out positioning ReBellioN, and even looking to depower the Twilight Council. No! Does depower, a massive pickoff. Pylon goes down. And ReBellioN, he is in trouble here. As he tries to respond, there's Rico back home. Does recall back. Again, maintaining his army. ReBellioN likewise moving out. And ReBellion's all in. Remember, he's just all in at this point. ArT's able to catch up her Stalker. Ideally, wants the sentries. Ooh, force the wing away. He needs to respect the Immortals. But already slowing this down. Oh. Just catching a depth. He's swinging away. Does pull away, does set up everything's got his batteries, says his immortals. Disruptor production has begun. That's going to be ideal. ReBellioN is going to commit. He's going to shade. And it looks like he will. Oh, not quite. Does cancel. Does cancel the shade. Now, the scary thing about disruptors, specifically in this kind of position here, and again, also a good call by ArT, is because Novas, I mean, how do you dodge them here? Typically, Blink Stalkers have a better time avoiding and dodging Novas. Glaive Adepts are less mobile in that sense. So it's an army that's a little more vulnerable here to disruptors. Prism is turned away. Crouching the main army, there he goes up, and he's just gonna, oh my god, massive connection. Sentries go down, the Adepts go down, that's a kill on the Nexus. Nice pick off that by ReBellioN, but it may not matter. It may not matter here. As we commit into the bases, into the army. Prism is turned away, Maul's exposed, Show Stand over. It's almost ready. It goes off. Oh, ooh, and there we go. 4 Adepts going down. GG gets called, and ArT will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ArT will claim the series. Again, ReBellioN, he went for a bit of a cheekier build this time in game 2, but he got scouted. He got scouted, he got found out in regards to the proxy pylon. Also, ArT could just be more active and more aggressive. We had ReBellioN turning that into a 2-base all-in, but once again, ArT was able to delay and able to confirm the fact that there was no 3rd base, and that, of course, ReBellioN was committing on a 2-base economy. With that, he was able to get into disruptors and have a very solid defense. GG. GG well played. ArT did have a very solid defense here. And again, ReBellioN did gamble quite a bit in both game 1 and game 2, and wasn't able to get away with it. Game 2 here, going for the fake outs and then going for the all-in. Game 1, if you recall, going for the ninja base, going for the quirky third location, also getting punished. GG. GG, well played. With that, ArT will claim the series, and that leads us into our next mirror matchup. Oh, I just realized we have got a bunch of mirror matchups here. Curious to see how this plays out. Up next, we have a TVT between Honmono and Baby Marine.